What's going on, guys? We'll go back with another Shadowlands video. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing very well. Grab your coffees. Hope you are ready for some dungeon talk. We did a plus 16 Mists of Tyrna's Scythe. Yes, we got to 2,500 rating, by the way. Look at this mount. This thing is so cool. Look at him. He's cool. I'm not a huge fan of this model in general, but the red version is actually quite cool. So that's what you get for 2,500 rating in this season. So we did a plus 16 Mists of Tyrna's Scythe, and I did heal it. Now, this is going to be a Resto Shaman video, and I'm going to talk about my build and everything that I did. I do want to talk about tips and tricks for healing, but there's also just going to be tips and tricks for Shaman in general in this dungeon. We did a 16 Mists of Tyrna's Scythe, and it was really, really good. We ended up doing quite well. The tank in it was just absolutely amazing. You love having good tanks like that, and the dungeon went pretty smooth. So grab your coffee, and if you sit back for that, if you want to, we're going to talk about some healing stuff today, okay? And some and sort of advanced shaman mechanics for dungeons in general. First of all, what build did I run as Enhancement Shaman, or as a Resto Shaman? There's quite a few different builds, which is kind of neat. I essentially chose to go with a healing legendary, which is casting Riptide as a chance to activate Ascendance for 6 seconds, which might not sound super good, but it ends up being almost 10% of our healing overall, so it's a good legendary to have. And then we have the Raging Vesper Vortex with Vesper Totem combo, which I've explained to you guys a couple of times now, I think, but it's important just to understand how this legendary works, and I'm going to show you really, really quickly. So it says that once you consume 3 charges of Vesper Totem, it'll radiate damage and healing. You can do this twice. You can radiate damage twice. That means you have to do 6 charges in total. You cannot do 6 DPS abilities or 6 healing abilities to get both triggers. You have to do 3 DPS abilities and then 3 healing abilities in no particular order. You can go 1 DPS ability and then a healing and then a DPS, then a healing, and then you'll be working your way towards both of the procs of this legendary effect. But just know you can't do 6 of one or 6 of the other. You have to do 3 and 3 to get both procs. So let me show you what that looks like really quick. We're going to drop it right here on this guy. I'm going to go bing. It does some damage at the beginning. 1, 2, 3. Here's my 3 DPS abilities. Then they triggered there. And then I'm going to go 1, 2, and 3 healing abilities, and it triggers a second time. Did y'all see that? So, did y'all see that? Details? Come on. So there's the damage there. This secondary bar of damage, excuse me, this first chunk of damage actually is just the proc from the legendary effect. It actually did more damage. This procking twice, did more damage than all 6 of the charges that I did, which is these little guys here. It's a really, really good combo, but you just need to understand how it works. Make sure you understand that how it works. Also, we're running Mechanicos with this build. Oh, I was running Pelagos there. That's a nightmare. Usually you want to run Mechanicos. Excuse me, I got a bit of a cold right now, so bear with me. It won't let me change it, of course. Let's change it right here. So you want to run Mechanicos, and it's just for this last thing here. You want to get the cooldown reduction back on Vesper Totem, depending on how many enemies you hit. And in Mythic Plus, you're going to hit lots of enemies, right? So this is typically a 40-second cooldown, not a 1-minute cooldown, and that makes it so incredibly strong for healing and for dealing damage. It does everything all in one button. This is like my favorite way to play Resto Shaman right now. It just pumps damage. There are lots of ways that you could play Resto Shaman. Like you could run Venthyr and do the Chain Harvest thing. You could even run Venthyr, and as your secondary legendary, you could go Skybreakers, because it makes all your Flame Shocks do lots of passive damage. That is not a bad way to play whatsoever. But just know that you could also go Necrolord for the haste boost, and haste in Mythic Plus for healers is actually pretty strong. You can also play Night Fae, where you actually will reduce the cooldown of your Healing Tide Totem, but it's not by that much, so it's not really as good. But the damage and healing from Fae Transfusion is quite strong. My favorite way to play this, though, is with Raging Vesper Vortex. It's really, really fun. It does an explosive amount of damage, and it does a lot of healing as well, and you can move the totem around. So you place it here, and then, oh, everybody moved over here, wanted over here. Okay, everybody moved again. Well, we need it over there now. So you can keep moving it and keep proccing it over here. And then you want that final blast of healing. You proc it over here. There's that big proc of healing and damage. Then we're moving over here. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to want to do this. You're not going to want to move it around as much as I'm moving it around right now. But that is the point. You can move it around like that, which is really, really amazing and helps to definitely improve your damage and your healing. So that's the build. I ran Deeply Rooted Elements as Venthyr. Here's my talent setup. I went Undulation and Downpour. I did not take Cloudburst Totem. So you're going to see that I have regular Healing Stream Totem, which is kind of funny for most people, but these are actually very strong. This thing heals for 1k, basically, every 1.6 seconds. And you can just plop 2 of them down at the same time if you want to. That's something you can't do with Cloudburst Totem. So there's some interesting flexibility with Healing Stream. And then you get another AoE spell in Downpour, which is actually a lot of healing. It's really, really good. You can heal 6 people for 3,500, and the cooldown on this is increased for each target you hit. So it has this weird kind of functionality where if you hit no targets at all, it only has one target has a 5-second cooldown. If you hit 6 targets, it has like a 30-second cooldown. So it just kind of depends what you actually need to heal. But I actually like Downpour quite a bit, and I like this build that I ran. We got Earthen Wall, Undulation, Downpour, Ascendant. So that's the build that I ran, and I think that you're going to see that the Vesper Totem stuff as Kyrian is really crazy strong. So let's get into the video. Move over here. Let's back up a little bit. Let me take a swig here, and then I'll show you the opening pack. Vesper Totem just absolutely slaps everything. It's so good. Watch really fun. The damage and the healing here. So Vesper Totem is down. Watch my damage over here. Okay, I got an Ascendance proc, which is kind of insane. Look at my damage, almost 8k DPS right now. We're up at the tank. There, we're ahead of the tank now. Oh, we're below him again. He's doing lots of damage too, but it's just like you get all your damage out of the way in one button, basically, and then you can focus on healing. It's like Convoke for druids, for Resto druids. You switch into like kitty form as a Resto druid, and you press Convoke, and you do all your damage, and then you pop out of kitty form and start healing again. Vesper Totem's kind of like that, but you don't have to switch forms. It just does it all for you. It's really, really good. And look, the cooldown is back for this next pack already. We're 3 seconds away from the cooldown, which is so stupid. Watch the beam. Vesper Totem's down again. Get some healing out there. We're doing 6k healing, like out of nowhere. I don't know how we're doing that much, because it's just mostly in the Vesper Totem. It's one of the strong... Oh, we got an Ascendance proc. There you go. Beam again. Watch the tank here. I forget to dispel him. Watch how much he heals for. This is so crazy. Yeah, he's doing fine. This DK is like just crushing me. Yeah. So he gets 1 debuff. He gets 2 debuffs. Watch his health bar here. He'll tick down really far, and then he does a death strike. I take this healing debuff thing off of him right as he death strikes.
I can't even see him. He just disappeared.
I dispel him, and then he death strikes to full. He's doing 10.5k.
That death strike. Look at his healing.
This was like...
He just death striked for like his entire
so
HP
crazy.
He death strike for like 70% HP.
He did, yeah.
It's because they basically get all kinds of runic power now. Because their defensive, their passive is that they strike with a heart strike.
Yeah, the DK was a treat to heal. He was a real treat. So, okay, here's the next section. Usually you want to invis this, or you can go pull the Woe Automa to the left. But if you don't have an invis pot, then it might look something like this. So I'm communicating. I've talked about this before in my tanking videos. I'm asking everybody to invis. So we run across.
Sorry, I was just thinking of something. They heart strike, and
now the DK
free,
doesn't have an invis pot.
So they're generating tons and tons of resources.
So I just tell him, dude, just kill yourself, and I'll res you. No big deal. And that's what we do. He dies.
You summon a dead guy.
I res him, and we move forward. Just you know, don't complain at people if they don't have an invisibility pot. This is such an easy thing to do. If they don't have one, just say it right away. Do you have an invis pot? No? Okay. We're all going to go. You're going to die. I'm going to res you, and we're only going to lose like 30 seconds on this key. It'll help you a lot versus like whining and complaining about people.
A lot of damage. I'm not saying it isn't me.
So this next pack, once again, we're doing 8k DPS with Vesper Totem. Like, it's so stupid.
It's just they scale. It just scales.
And I'm
Doesn't matter
healing for free. Look at my healing.
How difficult the content is.
True. Yeah, Deathstrike always scales.
Look at that. Did you see that proc
That's a
at
lot
the
of
end? I'm not even doing 1k HPS right now. Vesper Totem's down.
I'm not saying it
1.6,
It's
2.2,
just they scale. It just
2.5,
scales. It doesn't matter how
3.2.
difficult the content
Here's the
is.
final
True.
proc on
Yeah,
Vesper
yeah,
Totem.
Deathstrike always
5.5k HPS. I know that's not a lot overall, but that's all because of Vesper Totem. Like,
scales.
Like as long as you didn't die,
it's crazy.
it's a gigantic healing.
It's pretty crazy.
Essentially, what it's letting you do is it's buying you time to do other things, like press Lava Burst, or dispel the tank, or do whatever. Go get this mushroom over here. Like, the Vesper Totem buys you so much time. It does.
So good.
It's just so crazy, guys. It's just really, really powerful. Yeah.
If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times.
I think you just said it twice, actually.
Another little thing you can do here is take Windrush Totem. I really love taking Windrush Totem in Mythic Plus. I think it's just really helpful. I plop it down right here. This mechanic where they put the vines down and they slow everybody, just throw down Windrush Totem on your melee, and then they can get out of the way. It's really nice for them. It's like so helpful for them to be moving around. It's not a really big deal, but over the course of a dungeon, using Windrush Totem like 10 times
Group
is
up a little
really,
bit
really
on
cool.
Hero, Fatum, if you can make it
So-
over to Hero.
Let me get my notes up here. There they are.
Thank you.
Let me go over to 108.
Oh boy.
There we go. We do end up dying back there, but that was my fault. So on this fight, it's really, really important as a Resto Shaman that you kick the boss. And specifically, let me back up just a little bit here. You need to kick Ingra. He does force compliance here on the tree, and that causes her to spit out the blue orbs. As soon as he's done doing that, he starts casting Spirit Bolt. You need to kick Spirit Bolt right there. The reason is because he will stand still in all the blue swirlies, and so melee can't approach the boss because he's stuck in these pools of crap. It's just really hard for them to get to the boss. As an additional kick that you bring to your team, it's really important that you have the ability to
With the
kick him
Ur,
there. As soon as he makes the tree start to spit out the blue swirlies, kick the boss.
Exact
It's really,
right
really
time. That was
important.
crazy.
Obviously, you have to lust here. Save your Vesper Totem or any DPS abilities that you have for this phase, because you'll do lots of damage. We're doing 7.3 here. Could probably be doing more if I had done something different, but there you go.
How long are you gonna make me wait for the Chad gameplay, Hero?
I kick Spirit Bolt there once again. And then the only other thing I'm going to say is that you do have Tremor Totem for this fight.
Less than honest.
You have Tremor Totem for this fight in case he gets the fear off. He does something called Repulsive Visage. He doesn't do it in this fight, but if the fight goes on long enough, he will. So there's another example where you need to kick the boss.
So good.
You need to kick the boss and get him out of the blue swirlies. But I put down a Windrush Totem here once again because it's getting kind of messy. They have to dodge the beam. It's really, really helpful for your melee just to give them
There it
speed
is.
at all times. So we end up
and I
killing
took
him.
double the damage. Freaking Warlock things. Okay, where'd she go? Left.
On the maze section here, you can always see where she goes right off the bat. And then if you have this little add-on that I have, let me see what it's called. Maze Helper, I think is what it's called. Let me look at my add-ons really quick. Maze Helper is what it's called. So you can go get that add-on. That puts this little window here. Let me just put OBS here. Okay. That will put this little window up for you. What you can do is, once you're done doing this first section, we know she went left, so we're going to go left. Okay? Then you go left here, and then you start looking at the pillars. As the healer, this is your job, because you have nothing else to do. There's not a lot of healing that needs to happen right here. So I click on the first symbol here. I know it's an empty leaf. Oh, for some reason the symbol went away. That's too bad. But I'm running around, and I'm doing a little bit of healing. I'm throwing out Riptides. I actually use my Spirit Walker's Grace so I can move while casting. Lots of tools you can use as a Resto Shaman.
Put on my thing where I can move while casting, and then I tried to cancel an ability that I was casting while moving.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't.
It wouldn't
And
do
then I
it.
got locked.
I gotta go back to this first one. So I'm doing the puzzle. I put Vesper Totem down here just to clean up a little bit of healing. You can proc it twice with Riptide. Then we get this last one. Now I've solved the puzzle.
Chad actually does good AoE damage when you have implosion.
I've solved the puzzle, and now I know where to go. So I know where the team needs to go. I'm going to get to the right door. I've done a little bit of healing, but that's not the point. I save our team time, right? Some people have better add-ons than this. Some people have like an instant add-on where the game tells them where to go. And that's fair. If you have that, go use that. But this is the one I'm using. And this is what you can do as a healer. You can just you can help your team out this way if you want to, okay? So I think it's pretty cool. I'm going to run around and get all these.
I have remorse.
I'm putting down some healing. Hero gets a dot here that I could have dispelled. I was just busy doing tree stuff, so I totally forgot about this. He almost dies.
How's that feeling?
I personal that too.
I put Vesper Totem down again.
Was that bucking?
No.
I should have dispelled it, but anyway.
the little
Lots of
thing.
healing from Vesper Totem. We go from 0 to 5k in like 2 seconds.
Well, I can dispel it. So.
Oh.
I've got the puzzle solved. So that's how you do this section. I think you should keep solving the puzzle for your team like that. It's pretty helpful.
He even wait.
So then there's Mistcaller.
Nope. Nope. No. Listen, I don't know enough.
Fatum gets freeze tagged here.
Oh shit, I'm gonna die.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
I'm a seed.
'Kay.
In an ice block.
I'm a seed
That'll
in an
do.
ice block.
I don't have enough room to put the friggin' Kyrian guy on my bars.
This
Oh,
fight
you got
can
the
be
buff too, Fatum. That's
tricky. This
perfect.
fight can be really tricky because
Yeah, I do. All right.
you're dealing with a lot of mechanics at the same time that can be kind of frustrating. So you need to communicate who is stunning or fearing the little Vulpin. Then you need to communicate which one of these totems to go after. Make sure that you have everybody. And then Vesper Totem will clean up so much of your healing in here, but you can use big cooldowns. Like, you know, I have Ascendance, I have Link, I have Healing Tide Totem still, and Vesper Totem is like that additional huge heal. I pop Ascendance here just to clean everybody up. We're almost out healing the DK, finally. He's just pumping so much healing, which is fantastic. The DK doing a whole bunch of his own healing really helps me to just be able to do other things. Like I can heal other people, I can do damage, I can dispel stuff, I can put down Rush Totem. There's just like having the DK take all that pressure off of me and needing to heal him is so friggin' good, man. Oh my god, it's so good. So this fight's pretty annoying. Make sure you're just on point with all your different cooldowns that you need to use. Communicate what's going on with the flowers and stuff here. Otherwise, it gets really messy really quickly. So, not much else to talk about on that fight. This whole section in here... Sorry, let me back up a little bit. This whole section in here is really, really good for Resto Shaman because you have a kick. So you can kick all the staghorns that are in this section. You can do either the regeneration, which is the blue cast, or you can do the shielding that they do, which is that green cast. So... it really is your responsibility as the Resto Shaman to do kicks in this section. 100%. It's not like it's nobody else's job. Other people should be doing it too. But it is 100% your job to be doing it maybe first. Because that lets the DPS do more damage. They don't have to worry about kicking. They're just going to do damage. Really, really important that you kick stuff here.
Perfect.
And I'm communicating about the kick, so they don't have to think about it. I'm telling them if I've got the next kick, and I'm telling them that I need a kick. Or whatever, right? All that kind of stuff. You're taking the brain power off of your DPS and you're putting it onto yourself because you don't have a lot to do here anyway. You're just triage healing. So it's great. You can do this extra little role for your team. Really important that you do that in this section. Like, it's super, super helpful.
Yeah, 11K.
Then you just need
I mean,
big
I just
heals.
Let him do his
Not even
thing.
kidding. It gets really crazy.
Look at the DK. He's at 11k HPS. Like, I can't even catch him if I wanted to. I had to pop a cooldown here because I had 3 stacks of the little debuff on me from the... I had 3 of the Hornets jab me with their stingers, so that was kind of annoying. But this DK was just bonkers. I mean, I caught up to him a little bit, 7.6k there, but he's just death striking all the way home, man. It's pretty crazy. So I tell them again, I've got Staghorn first kick here, which is really good.
I was like, I know I'm the one who needs to move, and I'm like,
So I
I'll
kick
get there.
stimulated.
I just need.
Now I need another kick, and I'll keep communicating that stuff to the group. Really important stuff.
Mine's down. I kicked.
I got.
All stunned.
So it's just good stuff. Just
That's
good
so
good
funny.
communication.
I doubted him.
We end up running around here and
Yeah.
He just death striked.
getting yeah, look at
He hit
this.
for 54k. He had a 54.
Look at his health right now. Look at it go up. Did you see that?
He just death striked.
He had a
It
54K,
hit for
55,000 HPS, right? Like HP he got from that. That one hit is a 4K HPS heal. Like he just, how am I supposed to compete with that? I don't, which is the point. The point is you don't need to compete with that as the healer. You just need to do other things. Go do damage.
54K.
Go heal other
He had a
people. Put
54K
Wind Rush
death
Totem
rate
down.
there.
Put a Cap Totem down. Whatever, right? Do as much damage as you possibly can because he's going to heal himself. Really, really cool. So let's move ahead to the final boss.
It's a lot.
Oh, we haven't got a percentage yet. Ascendance proc right there, which was unfortunate.
Because of seed.
Nothing else here. Final boss.
Shaman.
Sorry about the skipping. Here we go. Here's Tredova. Again, we have so many tools. We're going to start with Vesper Totem. One little trick you can do as well is to make sure that
What is wrong with you, Fada?
when the relics are up that you drop Vesper Totem and hit all 3
Finally,
relics
forward.
plus the boss. Because that'll get you the full 20-second cooldown reduction on Vesper Totem, which means you'll get it back really, really quickly at the beginning of the boss fight. So that's it's exactly like the Necrolord
Stunning.
Lightning Bolt cleave that you want to be achieving as
By the way, Mind Link.
Enhanced Shaman. You want to make sure you're cleaving all those relics before they die and turn into the Automa. So very, very good for Vesper Totem. Nothing really special here. I'm going to die here. Yep, I
Oh.
greeted so hard. Don't greed that hard for
Well,
stuff.
the parasite got off as well.
One thing that you can do on this fight is you can kick consumption or you can kick the parasite because you have a kick because you're a healer with a kick. And you really should focus on doing that because it takes, again, the brain power off of your DPS, allows them to do as much damage as possible. Particularly when you have 2 casters who don't really have good kicks anyway, and they just want to be standing still casting spells.
Far away, pig. Okay, there we go.
For melee, their kicks are off the GCD, right? But for range DPS, their kicks are like, I think it interrupts their casting. So it does interrupt their casting. So it's way, way better for you to do it as the healer. Then they don't have to interrupt any of their casts and they can do more damage.
Run away.
You have to think of your kick as a Resto Shaman as a DPS ability. When you press kick, you stop the other DPS in your party from also having to hit kick, and that gets them more damage. So it's like you kicking results in them doing more damage, which is what you're looking for. So this fight's kind of messy. We got lots of mind links. We did kick Parasite there, which is good. And that's about it, guys. There's nothing really crazy here. Wind Rush Totem, of course, is very good for getting away. If you get marked prey on you, you want to bring it in. But we just end up killing the boss here. You can cast while moving as an enhancement or as a Resto Shaman. Really, really powerful tool.
Oh, 17 rating. Hello. That'll do.
I just got above 2,500 rating here. 2523.
Oh, they're solely. They're perfect.
We're climbing.
Oh, yeah, because you did the right engine. Yeah.
So let me get to... There is a moment here where I check the numbers.
Grab some more cop for the bathroom.
Oh, is it after this? Must be, eh? Let me look at my notes real quick. Let's look at the notes real quick that I wrote down. He 133.07. Yep, it's way ahead. 133. Let's go back.
He had. Okay, dokie.
Here we go. It comes up in a second.
that
there.
was pretty
4,
good.
5, 6.
My healing was terrible because
7. Okay, so our healing overall was 4K, which is not super high, but the Death Knight's healing was like insane. So that's automatically going to make our healing a bit lower. He's taking care of himself. So that's okay. We don't need to be mad about that. We just need to understand that that's why our numbers are a little bit lower. And it means that we can spend time doing damage, right? So you can see that we ended up doing Riptide and Healing Surge are the biggest, but Healing Stream Totem is also really high. And then Vesper Totem is doing like 12% of our healing all by itself, which is insane. So that goes to third place there. And then our Legendary was the ability to proc Ascendance. So that was really good. That was about 9% of our healing, the two combined. So our Legendary is actually doing a lot of extra healing as well. Now, I think that there's a great argument to be made for bringing a DPS Legendary like Rocky, right? The 5-minute Earthquake Rocky Legendary will help you do way more damage on big AoE packs and stuff like that. So that's a consideration to be made. I think that it's probably better than the Legendary that I had here. But I don't mind having a Resto Legendary that's actually going to pump more healing for me. It saves you mana, pumps healing. It's pretty cool. So That's it. The Vesper Totem breakdown, obviously, you can see is just absurd. It just does so much damage.
The
So
DK was
let me just back up 1 second here. Bum.
okey-dokey.
Our damage overall was about 3.2k, which is a little lower than I would want it to be, but I hadn't played this in a while and I was just getting used to it again. So there's better ways to play this. I could have proc Vesper Totem probably more times than I did. So again, something to work on. I'm not entirely sure if this is worse than going Venthyr and having like Chain Harvest up all the time. If you went like Skybreakers plus Venthyr as a Resto Shaman, I think you'd like have a lot of extra Flame Shock damage and a lot of extra Chain Harvest cast, which is pretty cool. So that's another consideration that I think I'm going to try and try to see if I can make that work. So yeah, overall, guys, the dungeon was really good, and we didn't have any problems at all because our damage from our DPS players was really solid. That Death Knight was amazing. Really, what you need to do as a healer in particular is to look at the composition that you're running into and say, okay, where do I fit into this jigsaw puzzle? There's a Death Knight tank that's going to be out healing me all the time. He's going to take care of himself. So I'm just going to like hot up everybody else, keep all the rest of my teammates alive, and then pump as much damage as I possibly can. That's what the Death Knight is doing for you. That's what his ability to heal himself is doing for you. It's not a competition. I'm not here to see if I can out heal a Death Knight, because I won't. It's about how do I fit in to that composition? How do I make sure that I tailor my gameplay to suit what the team is presenting me, which was a Death Knight who could full heal himself every friggin' 2 seconds with his Death Strike. So that's how you need to think about it as a healer, and that will make all your dungeons go very, very smoothly if you want to heal them. So that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the love on YouTube and on Twitch as well. If you want to watch the Twitch stream, I'll be on later tonight, and I'm on almost every night at twitch.tv/ZukoVibes. And that's it for this video. If you want to drop a like down below, it would help a lot. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, what are you doing with your life? Get down there and hit that subscribe button right now. Until the next one, guys, I'll see you later.